brings us to positive visualization and confidence. So what we see in our head, the pictures that we see in our head is visualization. We want to make those as positive as we can. Okay? In doing that, we can do what we call affirmations, where we can visually or verbally say those kinds of things to ourselves, or we could have notes or post-its that have these kind of positive affirmations on there. Case in point, if you want to lose some weight, you put a little skinny picture on the refrigerator. Okay, that's what we talk about as positive affirmations, something that we can visually see. I would also encourage you to maybe sit alone with yourself 5 to 10 minutes and just think about positive things. Especially if we're preparing for something that's important to us, a math test, being successful in anything. Positive visualization is going to help us be successful with that. Okay? And confidence. There's a book called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne that talks about the power of attraction, the law of attraction. And what that is that what you say and think is going to happen typically will come back to you. So it's how you feel about things, what you call out possibly from the universe. Zig Ziglar used to say, whether you say you can or can't, you're correct. So be confident in the things that you want, because you're putting them out there, typically they're going to come back to you. Now if they're negative, the law of attraction is going to get that negative reaction back to you. So when we're looking at being successful in math, what we really want to do is be confident in the fact that we can do this. Even though it's challenging, go back to your inner guide and say, we can do this. Okay? Deep breathing techniques. The technical term is diaphragmatic. I knew I was going to mess that up, but it was close. Okay? Diaphragmatic breathing, and basically it's taking as much oxygen into the body as you can. Okay? It's based on a concept called fight or flight. You guys may be familiar with that in some psychology classes. It originated in the caveman days when the saber-toothed tiger came out to the caveman. It was either do I fight or do I run like heck. Okay? So fight or flight, it's a rush of adrenaline. It's a physical emotion that takes over your body. Kind of the same thing when you walk into your math class for your test. Okay? So this deep breathing will allow us to basically eliminate some of that syndrome that you have with fight or flight, okay, by taking more oxygen in. Now, I invite you all to stand up for a second, and I'm going to prove this point for you. Okay? So everybody, put one hand on your chest, put one hand on your belly, and then take a deep breath. Do it again. What goes up? Your chest or your belly?
Belly.
Belly? Belly? Good. That is correct deep breathing. A lot of students only breathe if your chest goes up, you're not taking the oxygen all the way down. Okay, so when we're looking to alleviate anxiety and that fight or flight, we've got to be able to take deeper breaths down into the diaphragm. So if your belly's going up, good. If your chest is going up, learn how to take it a little bit more farther down there, okay? Practice, practice, practice with anything that you do to be successful, whether it's math, whether it's English, whether it's athletics, whether it's anything in our life. We have to practice, okay? They say repetition is the mother of learning, and math is no different. So what we really want to do is understand that math is a sequential type of class. It builds upon, concepts that from last week that you need to know this week that goes into the further week. So if you're not doing enough to actually practice and get it into your head and take it from short-term memory to long-term memory, we've got to spend more time. Okay? And math is one of those things, and we're going to talk a little bit more about time management, that you have to spend a little bit more time studying with it. Okay? Learn the math vocabulary. Mathematics is not something that you memorize. What you want to do is master the key concepts. Because once you have the key concepts, then you can build upon putting those pieces together to get the right answer. Okay, so try not to memorize math, just understand that there is a math vocabulary. And earlier I handed out a sheet that has math vocabulary on that, and it talks about, what is a numerator, what is a denominator. And you might be at certain levels of math that some of these concepts you haven't come across with yet. But keep this tucked away in a notebook, because eventually you're going to get to that level, and if you understand the vocabulary, then we can start to piece those together to be a little bit more successful. Okay? The building blocks, if you will.